Welcome to the Between Brothers podcast. We have the Chancellor of Charisma, my big brother Zero in the building. Lando, the Duke of Debonairness in the building. Thank you all so much for listening in or watching on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, comment, leave us a review on Apple. I think it's iTunes that you leave a review on. If you like the episode. And yeah, let's get right to it as usual. Zero, how was your week?
Yeah, it was pretty good. What's it called? Of course, Thanksgiving. Um, made the Cornish hens. Um, yeah, we had we had ourselves a good time. Oh, and when we talked, like, remember I told when you had called me, and I was like, and I told you, yeah, I'm at war right now. Every time I hear somebody scream, I know I got a hit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we were shooting so I got a bunch of Nerf guns, and we just shooting each other like crazy. And when I tell you, so after that, we get back on the phone. Then, like, you missed it. So, it's so funny, yo. So right after we got off the phone the second time, I'm in the living room. And I don't know, it's like a habit of mine now. every time, every time we get finished playing, I'll
Mm-hmm.
load every single Nerf gun for the next time. And then what's it called? Always make sure that it's pumped up just to make sure that the first is like if I'm gonna take the first shot, oh, I'm not gonna yeah, you're gonna know that bullet coming. So the wife is fussing at Marshmallow, and it's so funny. I'm like I said, I'm in the living room, and then the wife says, "Go into your room." She says, she says, "I'm gonna call daddy." She's like, "I'm gonna call daddy." You know Marshmallow. So yeah, I wish you were there. She said, "I'm gonna call daddy." Marshmallow said, "No." So I and I'm walking down the hallway, and Marshmallow's covered up in a blanket. And she said, "No," and I see him run from our room into his. I was like, "Hold up, you use me as a threat." You use me as a threat for Marshmallow to go to bed. She's like, "Yeah." It's like "You're climbing all over me. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I want to relax." It was like I never thought that was gonna come out. I never thought that was gonna come out of that child's mouth. Just it's like the anguish and fear in, in that child's voice.
That's funny.
It was covered up like a gypsy from the what's it called? Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because it seemed like now every time it's time to go to bed, Marshmallow starts crying. I just walk into the room and Marshmallow looks at me and then stops crying and wraps up inside the blanket. And it's like, okay, so you just needed me to give you a death stare for you to finally listen, huh? But when I heard that no and ran away out, you know, I wish I had one of the guns on me. 'Cause while Marshmallow's running across, I would have pulled the trigger real quick. But yeah, so we've been rolling around like freaking commandos, shooting each other with Nerf guns and bullets. Yeah, it's been a grand old time, and every time I think about getting since they're cheap, I'll get one, and then I'll come into the house and if everybody's inside, no matter what room they're in, I'll come in and I just aim the gun and fire off 3 rounds. And it's like, "Oh, you got another one?" And it's like, "Y'all too excited to get shot in y'all chest and, ribs." I'm just saying. But, yeah, it's been, yeah, it's been cool. This week was really good.
That's good. That's good. Before I get to how was your week or how was my week, there was a post I think that you posted. Um, I want to talk about real quick. It was a couple hours ago. Health myths in the Black community. I have a problem with people who have part of things or take things too literal. The young lady up here says, you don't catch a cold because it's cold outside. You catch a cold because you're more inside and it's easier to spread viruses. It is proven, she's halfway right. It is also proven that when it's cold or when your body is cold, your immune system's at reaction time significantly slows down. That's why. So actually, being cold outside does affect your ability to fight off infections and viruses. So that's wrong. The second thing, the sweating in the cold and it messes with your sinuses. I personally never heard that. So I'm going to take her word for it. The big bone thing, I'm tired of people talking about the Black community and the big bone thing. That has always been a nice way to call somebody fat. Nobody's ever thought your bones were bigger. That's never been a thing. It's like, oh, she's not fat, she's big bone. It's just always been a nice way. Nobody's ever thought that your bones were actually bigger. Nobody's ever thought that. That's never come across somebody's mind. But also because heavier people that has to use more weight and you move around more weight. A lot of them actually have pretty decent bone density more than the average person. So you can actually kind of say, now that doesn't necessarily, that's not the reason why they're heavy. They're heavy because they eat too much. I know, I'm one of them. But like I don't know why there's so many Black people on social media saying that stuff. Big bone in my entire life has always been a nice way of calling people fat. That's all it's ever been. Nobody's ever been like, yeah, if you took an x-ray of my bones, you'll see they're big. Nobody's ever said that. So stop saying that, Black people. or Black people who want to correct all the other Black people because you feel like you got it, you're educated. Cut it out because you sound stupid. Anyways, my week. You mentioned Thanksgiving. To be honest, I completely forgot about Thanksgiving. But we went to the Duchess's parents' house, which the Duchess, she wanted to go to her parents' house because she didn't want to do the cleanup. Because I think we did Thanksgiving last year at our house. And yeah, last year at our house. And she was like, oh, it was too much cleanup. And we did Christmas dinner at our house. And she was like, all right, I ain't trying to do that, back to back. So I was like, okay, cool. But the thing that annoyed me was I'm thinking, I'm just going to pull up, eat, pull up, stop, park, rim still spinning, eat, and get out of there while the rim's still spinning.
I was saying,
Now,
eating somebody else's turkey, we must be winning.
yeah, exactly. I thought I was winning. She like, no, you gotta. She was like, yeah, my mom wants you to make the turkey. So I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. So that's how I said it. I didn't know that was confirmation of me making the turkey. So she's like, yeah, I bought a turkey for you to make. Like 2 days later, she's like, yeah, I bought a turkey. I'm like, I'm not making no turkey. She's like, yeah, my mom wants you. Just because she wants me to, don't mean I'm going to.
I'm not obligated.
But I had the turkey. Everybody, I mean, Zero, of course, knows. At least in our family, the turkey I make is legendary. But apparently in the Duchess's family too, because they don't eat turkey unless I eat. unless I make it. So, so made the turkey, and the Duchess made like most of the sides. So I was like, why aren't we doing this at our house if we making all the food? So, but of course I know it's because of the cleanup. So we get there, our sister comes over, she made a couple of dishes, I made some adult beverages, those were a hit too. So it was a good time. It was a good time. At least eating wise, that it was mostly Duchess's family, so it was mostly Cocoa Puff hanging up all over me and playing and whatever. But it was a good time, and so there was that. But there was also a couple of things that happened this week, specifically between the last 2 days. So, I've had this conversation before about Caucasian men at the gym, older Caucasian men at the gym. But now we are spreading to all Caucasians.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, all Caucasian men. This is not nobody pointing their meat at my back. This isn't that. But it's actually pretty close. It's actually pretty close. It's two things. So months ago, I told y'all about this guy who gets on the cable machines and he just hangs upside down and does bicep curls. That was a Caucasian person who did that. Why? I don't know. He just gave himself a blood rush to the head while doing bicep curls, and for some reason he thought that made him stronger. I don't know, because he instantly gets down and starts flexing his biceps in the mirror, and he doesn't have any bicep definition. So I don't know why he did that. But now we fast forward. So there was that. Weird shenanigans. Then we have dudes in nude on the scale and facing my direction. In the other gym. So now back to this gym, my main gym. I'm in there. I see this guy. Looks like some kind of homosexual, trans guy. I don't know. But he's wearing yoga pants.
Mm-hmm.
Shiny silver yoga pants.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm like, that's weird. And then he's wearing nail polish and stuff like that. So I'm like, the nail polish, I still think that is weird when men do it. But that didn't bother me as much as the shiny yoga pants.
Mm.
So I'm lifting weights. And I get up and he's doing like lunges, or what do they call them? Like side to side lunges. This dude had no underwear on under the silver tights. So, like women be talking about the print in sweatpants. Okay, you can see it, but it's not like well defined. This was a well defined, tiny dingaling smashed up in between this man's legs while he's doing these side to side lunges in silver yoga pants with no drawers. I'm like, so now again, this wouldn't have normally bothered me to a sense, but then I had to do a workout, an ab workout, where my head is down at the top of the thing, where he, for some reason, decides to do his side to side lunges with his meat 24 inches from my skull. So now I'm mad. Now, like, because at first he was doing it in the front of the bench. Now he's doing it. I only actually 2 feet might even not even been real. Like I might be overestimating. It felt like he was a lot closer to me. So he, for some reason, goes to the back, and I'm like, oh, he's trying to be funny. So, so I was like, yo, dog. So I'm like, yo, you really out here with pants like that on? And he's like, why is it any of your business? I said, because you need to put underwear on if you're gonna wear those kind of pants.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't just have your meats dangling out here. We're in a public place. And he's like, I can wear what I want. I said, okay. Now I'm a regular then. So I was like, okay. So I one of the ladies, she comes by and she's like, how's your workout going? And he's right, he's no longer doing the side to side lunges no more. He's now doing this weird bend over stretch thing. And so I was like, I said it would be better if my man put some drawers on. So he's like, and he stands up straight and says, that's none of your effing business. Shorty see what I see. Get out of here. She was like, sir, no. She was like, sir, no, you can't be in here like that. And he was like, and then he goes, women do it all the time. She was like, yeah, women don't have what you have. So no, you can't do it. You need to put something to cover yourself up or you need to leave. And I never saw him again. So yes, I did tell on son.
Yo,
yes, I did put him out of the gym. I did put him out. I did get him put out the gym. And I'm happy about it. Because why you out here like that? Who do you think you about to attract? That thing ain't a thing. You out here waving your enlarged clitoris into the public. You wild for that. I don't know why these things happen to me. All the weirdos want to freaking work out or do stuff next to me. And I'm too confrontational not to say something.
Yeah, because that's weird how you can, like, you were doing it one spot. You're doing your lunges, your Cossack lunges over here. Now all of a sudden, you think you're gonna Cossack over here. Move your sack, nigga.
Yeah, pun intended.
Move your change purse.
Change purse. Change purse.
Yeah, he was trying to be funny. He probably peeped that you saw before.
No, I don't know if, because to be honest, I don't think he was paying no attention to me. And I wasn't paying no attention to him. I just happened to, when I'm picking up, I'm lifting my head up and he's like standing in the vicinity of where like I can look up and see him. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I wasn't gonna say nothing until and like I said, for what, maybe he went that, I don't know why. I'm assuming, I don't even, like, just to give him the benefit of the doubt, I'm assuming because there was more space at the top of the bench than him. He might be in somebody's way if he's at the bottom of the bench because that's where the weights are. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But then when I'm like, yo, you can't, and then he started getting mad at me, I'm like, oh, okay. And he telling me I can't tell him, you right, I can't. But I got connections. And they connected you to the door. So they connected you to exit stage left.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Snaggle puss ass.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I need a bigger house so I can get an in-home gym so I never have to deal with these shenanigans anymore. That's my motivation for 2025. Bigger house, bigger gyms, bigger budgets. Bigger cars. Oh, like that's my 2025 goal. Because I can't do this no more. Bigger I can't. Pizza. Better pizza, Papa John's. But yeah, yeah. So that was my week. Thanksgiving. you know,
Yeah, that's
I went from eating stuffing to a guy stuffing his nuts in yoga pants and no drawers on. Like, yo, just put some underwear on.
yeah,
Then he
there's no
compared himself
reason.
to a woman. So I guess he wasn't trans because he didn't say he felt like he was a woman. I guess he was homosexual. But like he was like, women do it all the time. And he had like a feminine voice. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, watch. And that lady, and she, I wouldn't I had planned on saying something when I left, but Shorty ended up walking past me and she was like, "Oh, how's your workout going?" I was like, "It would be better if my man wasn't out here, with his meat dangling." And she's like, and then he stand up, ready to snap, and she see, "Do you see what I see?" It was Christmas time.
That's out now.
And now she was like, "Yeah, you need to put something." And he was like, "I don't have to." And she was like, "Well, you can leave." And then he got his stuff and he left. Which, like I said, at the end of the day, like you just can't be out here like that. You a grown man. You a grown man.
Yeah.
Don't do these things. You know what I'm
It's like,
saying? Like look in the locker room, they let you run around with your meat out. Do that in the locker room. I don't understand what's up with these Arby's ass white people. They always have their meats out. Put it away. Nobody wants it. Nobody here wants it.
I put my heart and soul.
Nobody. That's why your business is empty, just like Arby's always
Yeah, that's funny. The last time I had Arby's was like what, 2021.
The last time I had Arby's was the day me and you went to Arby's and we saw Tyson. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah, that was pretty long ago.
Yeah, that was the one and only. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. I have had their cookies. A sandwich, no, but I have had their cookies. They got the second best fast food cookie in my opinion.
Got you.
But it's but also it's not good enough for me to go there. And I live fairly close to one. So but last thing. I promise y'all we got a podcast we're gonna get to. I'm watching Food Network today, this morning. We'll record on a Sunday. The white people have some pure audacity. Hanging upside down, lifting weights, doing bicep curls, having your meat out, pointing your meat to a grown man's back, having your meat stuffed in yoga pants, silver yoga pants. But this is the most audacious of it all. I'm watching Food Network. This woman has a show on Food Network and did this. Now, shout out to Chadwick Boseman. He passed away, what was it, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe? Mm-hmm. And he had a joke on SNL, and he said, white people put unnecessary things in their potato salad like raisins. Made me die laughing because I didn't know that was a real thing in the white community. And then fast forward, I see a Indian dish commercial on Pinterest, and a older Caucasian woman says, "This dish is really good, and what I did to add a little flavor was add prunes to the dish." See, the audacity. Perfect Indian dish, and then you're going to add prunes to the dish for what? I don't know. This woman was making chicken salad. Zero. Chicken salad.
Chicken salad.
Chicken salad. I want you to, I know I'm saying this a lot. I want to drive it home to what she was making. This was what she put in it. She goes, first, we're going to start with a cup of mayonnaise. Okay, we start off to a good start. Then we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. I said, okay, I haven't heard that, but that's not bad. Add some, some essential fats in there, Then she says, and I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Okay, we here, we on the same page. Then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of orange juice.
I beg your pardon?
I'm like, okay, you're losing me. You're losing me. Then she says, I'm gonna take some green grapes and slice them long ways in half. Okay, we living on the edge. I'm not making this up. It's a country. I forget the name of the show, but it's a lady who used to be a country music star. Then she says, I have some day-old rice that I'm gonna add in here. I'm like, all right, rice, grapes, orange juice. Okay. And then she says, and I have chicken. Okay, we're getting back to normal. She's like, it's already been cooked. I just boiled it, and I just boiled it in hot water, which I don't know why she had to say hot water because it's not boiling if it's not hot, if it's not over 212 degrees, right?
I've never heard of boiling water. That shit still came out.
And she was like, she didn't it, bruh. The thing was unseasoned. Which I guess that's how they do boiled chicken. First of all, boiled chicken is got to be the most crazy cooking method I've ever heard of. Boiled chicken is wild. So she was like, and I'm gonna dice it up, and she puts the thing in there, and she's mixing it all up. Now, remember the ingredients: rice, boiled chicken, orange juice, mayo, grapes. Then she says to finish it off, I'm going to add pineapples and almonds. What is that? What is that?
She was making chicken salad?
This was a fruit salad with chicken. That's what it was.
A fruit salad with chicken. Yo, the producer said, yo, we just
No, because the producers okayed this before she came on TV. Or I can't even, like, part of me wants to make it and try it. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm like, I can't imagine the reason you would put orange juice, grapes, pineapples inside of a chicken salad with rice. So I have to know.
Eating tonight.
I feel like I need to know what this would taste like. But then my blackness kicks in and won't allow such a thing. So yeah, very audacious Caucasian people in the last 12 hours, because it was about 9 o'clock this morning. No, it was earlier than that. It was 8 o'clock this morning when I watched it because it was before church. So yeah, that's what I had to witness today. But now that we got that out the way,
yeah,
let's get to some topics.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, just disgust all over.
And the producer said, we're gonna give you a bunch of shit. Just do what you do.
Oh man, I wish somebody didn't do that. Anyways, all right, let's talk some football, man. What week is this? Is this week 12 or 13?
I think it's 12.
No, Ravens are 8-5. So 13.
Yeah.
So yeah, Week 13 started out with the Thanksgiving games. One actually won some good money. I made 3 bets. One was a parlay for the winners. That didn't go well because the Lions decided to let the Bears come back in the game just to finish the game the way that they did, which that's going to be one of our topics. Actually, you know what? We can get straight into that. But first, I'm going to just talk about real quickly, the games, or the Thanksgiving games. One, and I made two. The 2 other bets was the Dolphins to score the least amount of points, which they did, so that hit. And then the Dolphins to lose, or the Green Bay Packers to have the biggest blowout, which they did. So those two, and those are actually very big high odds as well. I think they were plus 550 on both sides. Unfortunately I couldn't parlay, but it was good. It would have been really good if I could parlay them, but I'd be a couple $1,000 richer. It'd be a good Christmas. Unfortunately, FanDuel knew better. But yeah, so that was it. But Lions, they go up 16-0. Chicago comes back. Then Eberflus went full Eberflus. And for some reason, he's inside the 30. He's inside. No. Was it inside the 30?
Yeah.
He was inside enemy territory, Lions territory. Has a timeout left. And somehow the game ends with him still with that timeout. And he wasn't winning the game at that point. Zero, explain to me how that happens.
I wish I had an explanation, because it was a stat that I found out about that this is the first time in NFL history that a team has been in the 30. It has been at or within the 30-yard line, had a timeout, and didn't kick a field goal or use the timeout. The only explanation I got is that Eberflus said, "You know what? Fuck it." It's like, look, y'all do what y'all do. It's like,
He's like, y'all gonna fire me anyways. So we might as well get this show on the road.
yeah, let's speed up the process. And what makes
I would love to talk to an NFL player about this.
so
because why didn't Caleb call a timeout?
That's a great question too. But supposedly, what's it called? Yeah, Eberflus was I think it was Jalen Johnson. They said he snapped off on Eberflus in the locker room.
He's a cornerback, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a number 2 rated cornerback in football right now.
And what makes it even worse for Eberflus? Yeah, it says, I'm looking at the article. It says Jalen Johnson interrupted former head coach's post game using colorful language. Yeah, it was like it's weird. The fact that it's even like, I think, what was it? The following day, he says that that he I think he said he didn't regret his decision, and that he was preparing for the next team to get fired a few hours later.
I'm imagining that firing And Bears ownership goes to him and they were like, why would you tell them that? And he's like, tell them that I don't regret it. Like, do you think I was wrong? No, that you were preparing for another team. Did you think you was about to keep your job after that?
somebody in upper management was with the owner. He's like, you heard what this nigga said?
He said he was getting ready for San Francisco.
It's like,
is he vacationing
no.
there? Because we
Like
ain't
he getting
keeping
ready
him
to
there.
take a vacation in San Francisco because he damn sure ain't coaching in San Francisco.
I didn't know he had vacation plans to go there.
Yeah, he's like, you got family out there? Because ain't no way
Or he
motherfucking.
must be interviewing. He must already had an interview lined up because we definitely ain't keeping him.
Isn't just to be is the Walk of Fame in San Francisco or is it LA?
LA.
Okay. Yeah, he was gonna interview the
There's a
one.
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Okay. So he was gonna go to what's it called? He was gonna go to San Francisco to be a short order cook at a Chinese restaurant because he damn sure won't prepare for an NFL team. They when it said Jalen Johnson cursed him out, like interrupted the post game interview and cursed him out for 10 to 15 minutes.
Minutes. yo, to have that much rage that you go in uninterrupted profane language for 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, you definitely was gonna make it out of there alive.
Yo, he called them all sorts of bitches and hoes.
Yo, he called them all sorts of B's, N's, H's. Where's Jalen Johnson from?
You might have thrown a slut in there too.
Fraggle maggots.
Yeah.
Yo, he called them all kinds of slurs. Every slur you could think of, Eberflus was called that.
Oh, snap. That was freaking hilarious. 10 to 15 minutes of.
Yo, that has to be an exaggeration, yo. 10 minutes? 10 minutes? There's comedians who don't even get a 10-minute set. This dude. And here's the bad thing. Nobody wanted to stop him. Everybody back on the yeah. I've been saying that the whole time. We've been saying that. Is he a defensive coach?
Eberflus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
the Bears have practiced the same habit. They fired their head coach the year after drafting a new quarterback every single time they drafted a quarterback since Lovie Smith. I think he's the third or fourth head coach to get fired the year after drafting a quarterback, which is idiotic. It was Mitch, Fields, then Caleb.
Yeah.
But he's the fourth coach since Lovie Smith. They fired Lovie Smith when he had a 10-6 record, and they haven't gotten a coach. Eberflus didn't even barely won 10 games total. He won 14 total games. Hold on. I'm gonna find the records because I've never seen a firing that fast. To be honest, actually, I've seen faster firings. I'm lying. Why did they let him do a press? I guess, I think the press conference is what really got him fired. Because he said he didn't regret his decision. I think if he would have said that, he would have bought himself another week. Or another game, I should say, because they would have had 10 days. So I think, but when he goes out there with that kind of arrogance, when you made one of the biggest no, the biggest blunder this season, and I'm mind blown because Eberflus had a job 13 weeks into the NFL season. Robert Saleh, who's a far better coach than he is, got fired, what, week 5? Like, bruh. Doug Peterson still has a job, and
he don't
everybody
know.
wants him out.
Yo, he don't even know what the fuck to say. He's like, yo, we're gonna figure out some things. You still haven't figured it out. Like, why the fuck are you still here?
Son, it's like this can't be happening in real life. You know, it's so funny because on our YouTube channel, which I have a section for Lando sources discussion, I haven't done that or a buns list since I got sick. I'm gonna make sure we finish the season with some consistency. But I said on that episode, the NFC North preview, that Eberflus was that Caleb Williams has the talent to be a great player, but Eberflus is going to be the reason he's not. And he went from a 3-game stretch where he looked like he was the second best quarterback in this draft class to now he's clearly the third, because two guys haven't played. Spencer Rattler's wild buns. But 2 guys haven't played, or I think Penix played for like a quarter or something like that. But he's not starting. And you let Bo Nix look better than you. Or look like Bo Nix, I don't care what anybody said about Bo Nix. And he's playing pretty solid. But they're playing a very weak schedule. And to me, I don't think he's as bad as Will Levis, but he gives me some Will Levis vibes. And Will Levis started out good too. We'll see come next season. Or shoot, who knows? He might start falling apart with this Browns game that's coming up tomorrow. But
yeah.
But I don't think this is going to last for his career. As good as of a coach as Sean Payton claims to be. But yeah, a lot of Broncos' success is based off of their defense. It's giving me a lot of Tim Tebow when Tim Tebow was winning games. It's like the defense is playing excellent, but for some reason the quarterback is getting all the credit. But anyways, I don't understand how you go out there and say that. Yeah, I don't regret the decision. We just on to San Francisco. You don't get to say that,
No.
Eberflus. You're not Belichick. You don't have a history of winning to say on to the next one. No, you don't. Like, yeah, we just got to clean some things up. You have to clean things up. Like, call a timeout. It's a hand signal. It don't even take no energy. You just watch that clock dwindle away like Spider-Man after the finger was snapped. And you're like, yeah, not yet. I'm trying to find out what he would. I'm like, okay, were you saving it like because you thought you were gonna get a touchdown or I'm just trying to find out when was the field goal. Why didn't they kick a field goal or did they miss a field goal? No, they never kicked the field goal. That's right. So, like, what happened to where you couldn't even spike the ball to kick a field goal and you're inside the 30? It's a 40, what would that be? A 47-yard field goal and a potential win. You didn't even get the playoff. I'm just mind blown that guy is about to. I think this is the last year of his contract, so hopefully he don't collect no more NFL checks as a head coach. But if not, he's gonna collect NFL checks as a head coach and then go get a DC job somewhere and collect those checks. And it's mind blowing. I don't understand why that's a thing. for people like him. Like you literally did everything you could to lose your job, and you severely underachieved. And like I said, I don't understand. But the Bears organization is horrible too, because he he could he couldn't develop Justin Fields, and Justin Fields, though he really wasn't very good. He was another person who was winning because of the how outstanding the Steelers defense was, which is kind of funny. Everybody said that he should stay, but when Russell Wilson comes in, everybody's saying that it's the defense. So it wasn't the defense with Russell Wilson or when it was Justin Fields. The offense has played significantly better since Justin Fields has not been the starter, but for some reason it's still the defense. People hate Russ, man. I don't get why, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't get how he was able to keep his job after the Justin Fields project didn't go well. You couldn't, like, what did he say to ownership? Like, yeah, he was never our guy to begin with. You could start us fresh. We're going to draft him. No, you're not good at developing. Like, Justin Fields is only good because he ran the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Anything else you want to say about that ridiculousness of a game?
Nah.
Hold on, let me just. I wanted to get this stat out. Give me 1 second.
You talk about Eberflus's record.
Yeah.
He was 14-32.
14-32. 14-32, and they fired a coach in his last season, won 70% of the games that this dude won. Lovie Smith's record 81-63 as a coach, 3 playoff appearances, 1 Super Bowl with Rex Grossman behind my head. Mark Trestman, 13-19. John Fox, 14-34. Matt Nagy was the only one who had a winning record at 34-31, and then Eberflus at 14-32, and he didn't finish the season. At least John Fox went to a Super Bowl. Mark Trestman, wasn't he Ohio State coach?
No, you're thinking about Tressel. I don't think Tressman went to Ohio State. Let me go ahead and check because I don't want to be wrong.
I got you.
What's his first name? Mark.
Mark with a C. No, you're right. You are correct. He did coach in college for a little bit.
University of Minnesota, or is that the school he just went to?
No, he coached for the North Carolina State.
Okay.
Then in Sam Hill. He was a head coach for the Montreal Alouettes before becoming the Bears coach. They fired Lovie Smith for a Montreal. All right, what else happened in Week 13?
Yeah. So.
The Chiefs won again, in miraculous fashion. I don't know what happened on that play, but a lot of people are saying I don't know enough about the snap, but I've always thought, because people are saying there should have been a false start called on the offense because the snap was too early, but I thought the center and the quarterback couldn't get called for false start. maybe they can, and I don't know. But then they called it an illegal shift, and I don't know. And they was like, oh, it should have been a false start, but it was an illegal shift instead. But I didn't see anything on ESPN like saying that was the wrong call to make, that it should have been a false start. I've only been seeing people on social media, so, and not anybody who's like people who've actually played in the NFL or anything like that. Just football fans saying it should have been a false start. Did you see that play? And what you know more of the rules than I do. So what was it an illegal shift? Was it a false start? Was it a combination of both? And the refs bailed the Chiefs out.
I didn't get to see the play. Let me go. Let me go and watch it real quick because I'll be able to tell you.
Yeah, because I didn't understand it because I was like, well, was it supposed to be a false start? Because people were saying like it should have been a false start because the center snapped the ball too early. But I was like, that's not a false start on the center.
Yeah, that's not a false start.
But I don't know.
And
But then they were saying there was movement on the motion. And like the wide receiver wasn't all the way set, which is an illegal shift. So I don't know how it should have been a false start.
all right, so.
But while Zero takes a look at that play, the Chiefs have gotten very lucky, and it's not a team that you would expect to get to a third Super Bowl and win it. Generally speaking, when teams win so many close games, it usually backfires on them in the playoffs. They usually get dominated in the playoffs, actually. So
it would have been I think it would have been illegal formation because I can see the tight end wave. I guess he's waving the wide receiver to step back because he must have been covering the tight end. So if there was going to be any penalty, it more likely would have been illegal formation because the wide receiver that was on the near side would have been covering the tight end.
Did you see a false start?
Nobody false. No, what's it called? The center. Yeah, nobody false started like the what's it called? The center snapped the ball early because you got the tight end. He's looking over and he's waving the receiver back.
Which isn't a false start because he didn't move his feet.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and the center snapped the ball early. That's what if there was going to be any flag, it would have been for illegal formation. Because if you see the tight end waving at the receiver because you can't see the receiver in the play from the replay that I saw, that would have been the only explanation. He's telling him to back off the line of scrimmage because they would get penalized.
And maybe that's why they thought it should have been a false start because
of what the tight end was doing
when the tight end was waving the guy off. But the person that I saw the video, he said it should have been false start in the center, which I never knew that snapping the ball early. I never heard snapping the ball early being a false start because it's not like the ref knows the snap count.
Yeah, and the center can false start. It's like he'll probably like if he's I guess like you said moving his feet. That would be the only way the center could false start because the center.
How would the center move without snapping the ball though? I've never seen false start call in the center, so that's what I'm asking.
What's it called? Now, I've heard. Yeah, It always seemed like I've watched games where a center has been called for false start, but they never replayed the play. They just moved on to they just huddled up and they moved on to the next. They didn't even show how he false started.
Gotcha.
But especially nowadays, like the center is like the center is moving around. Even the right guard is like he could make a call and then tap and like if it's loud, he could
I've seen the guard touch the center to let them know
Yeah,
to snap
I
the
think
ball.
as long as they don't twitch like they're going to shoot forward or they move their
I think,
feet,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that
I think it's more about like they're not set in their feet aren't set. I think that's
yeah,
more of the false start than because every time I've seen false starts, it's not because somebody moved. It's usually because they got out of their stance, or or it's not just because somebody like moved or twitched or anything like that. It's generally like they move their feet in some way, shape, or form. But well, one of my close friends is a former NFL offensive lineman, so I'll make sure I talk to him. Next time I talk to him, I'll ask him about it. But yeah, and then we had this week, um, Trevor Lawrence took an ugly hit. Uh, to be honest, I was surprised he played this week, but I thought the Jaguars was going to shut him down for the season because it had him going good. And then I don't know what's up with Trevor Lawrence. It's like when he gets hurt every week. Like
yeah,
the same thing. I mean, he didn't get as devastating a hit as that, but that hit was dirty as hell. Um, and I actually like Al Shabazz. So um, I think he's a good player. So I don't know why he did that. It was completely unnecessary. People are saying he should be suspended for the season. I don't think he should be suspended for the season, but I do think a suspension is in order.
mhm. Did
Maybe a game or two.
did Milano? I think it was Milano. Did he get suspended for the hit did on Flacco? I think it was Milano.
I don't even know. Milano, Milano for the Bills.
Yes, no, I can't remember who the linebacker was, but when I remember,
I didn't even know Milano was playing yet because I know they said he was going to miss a lot of the season with his injury.
yeah, I can't remember what his name was, but it was but no, I think Kiko Alonso. I think it was Kiko
Kiko
Alonso
Alonso.
when he hit what's his name, Joe Flacco.
Was it when he was playing for the Bills or when he was playing for the Eagles?
That he I think for the he was playing for the Dolphins.
He went to another team after the Eagles. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to remember. I
But
think it's Kiko Alonso.
when was it though? Because certain hits,
It was a Thursday night game.
you know what I'm saying, like what, like because certain hits that were even though they weren't allowed, they might the NFL has changed so much when it comes to their tackling rules.
Because
It might not be because like I said, I forgot Kiko Alonso. I didn't even know Kiko Alonso played after the Eagles, so it could have been a time where that hit gets them ejected, but not necessarily suspended, and now they
no,
might
that
actually be suspending players for certain hits.
because I was thinking about it because it was damn near the same type of hit when he hit when Flacco slid and he hit Flacco and his helmet flew off.
Mm,
Yeah, I was say I didn't know what happened. I don't even know if he got ejected from the game for that hit.
mm.
So so it was like, yeah, when I watched, like I said, I watched that play live. I saw like when I saw the hit, I was like, "Yep, penalty." But then I saw Trevor Lawrence's arm go stiff. I was like, "Oh shit, is he gonna wake up?"
Yeah,
But he got up, and he looked dazed and confused, but he looked furious at the same time when the camera was on him. But he tweeted,
he's tougher than I thought. He's tougher than I thought. But one thing I didn't like though, none of the Jaguars really checked on him.
"What's it called?"
Like I saw one of the linemen like look down, like call somebody over, and then just like step over him. Like nobody like stayed with him.
Yeah, it was like
I didn't
I
like
thought,
that.
yeah, because the training staff ran over to get him. They had to check on him, and everybody else is going after he's going after Aziz. It was and somebody had said when the hit happened. Now I think it was Daryl Johnston because he was the color commentator. He said it seemed it was either him or it was after the or if it was the halftime show. Somebody said that Aziz,
Mm-hmm.
when the hit happened, they believe that he wanted to get himself ejected
Mm.
because of when with all the arguing and fighting afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like he seemed like he wanted to get ejected because of what may happen to him during the course of the game if he was able to stay on the field.
Mm.
And folks don't like the fact that when they did the penalties, it was like, why is this like um Trevor Lawrence gets hit with a nasty hit with a dirty play,
Mm-hmm.
and you have three penalties and all of them offset. There wasn't even it's like
There was
like
no punishment for.
yeah,
I mean, they
no,
lost a player, but there was no real punishment because
exactly.
then that puts the Jaguars up 15 yards, and then that those 15 yards probably could have helped them win the game.
Hmm.
So because I think they ended up selling for a field goal on that drive. So
Yes.
not saying the Jaguars offense is good enough to where they might have scored a touchdown, but you don't know because they didn't get those 15 yards.
Yeah.
There's no Jaguar that should have been. And this is I understand why fans get more and more frustrated with refs because they're not doing the right thing too often. Because it's like, all right, the circumstance, and you know what I'm saying. So it's just like, no, like call it what it is: personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty. That's what everything was over. That's the only penalty that needs to be called.
Yeah, because you knew that they retaliated over what he did.
You have a guy concussed over a filthy, dirty hit that y'all threw a flag over instantly. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And I don't know who was the first on the scene. It looked like it was a receiver who was the first on the scene to attack.
It was Evan Ingram.
Okay, give him a bonus. Pay him a bonus because he was on it. I mean, he was like everybody was like. It seemed like everybody was kind of like shocked, except Ingram. Ingram was about that action immediately. Immediately. So no, I've always been a fan of his. To be honest, when he came out of college, I was a fan of his. But the beginning of his career, was he? Ah, shoot, I'm trying to remember what team was he. Was it the
He was in New
Lions?
York. He the
New
Giants.
York Giants. Giants. I'm getting him in. I was a fan of both of theirs. I'm getting him in Pettigrew. I'm thinking about Pettigrew with the Lions. But yeah, I liked him as a player. I'm glad he was out. He got out of got out of New York, and he's found success with the Jaguars, and hopefully he continues to have a good and long career. But yeah, that was ugly. Um, I guess on some other Week 10 stuff, I'm surprised the Ravens lost. They never lose to NFC teams, but that defense is a problem, and that defensive coordinator probably should be.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm not saying he should be fired now, but they won't make it to the Super Bowl if he's continuing to call the defense. And because they're 8-5, they have no shot of winning the division at this point. Yeah, because there's only 4 games left. So they have no. So yeah, they have to. The Steelers have to lose out, which I don't think they've. I think they've lost once since. Yeah, they lost to the Browns on that fluky snow game. They lost once since Russell Wilson's been starting, and yeah, I don't see that team losing anytime soon. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team per se, but yeah, Steelers aren't losing anytime soon. Or like I said, if the Steelers win one game over the next 4 weeks, they'll win the division because they really today Baltimore or not Baltimore, Cincinnati really needed to win that game to be in the playoff hunt, and they lost. So what are they 4-8 now?
Yeah, they're 4-8.
So yeah, that's a huge surprise. And what's it called? I think if the Browns lose, they'll also be 4-8. So those two teams have no chance of making the playoffs. Yeah, so surprised they lost, and especially at home. Lamar has never lost to a team that played against him for the first time at home until today. Found that stat out. So that was crazy. And then the Jets were up 21-9 and found a way to lose off of a bye week. You know what's funny? Well, the Jets don't have Robert Saleh, but since Robert Saleh's been the coach, you know they've never won a game after their bye week. With more time to prepare, they lost more. Now, again, you can blame a lot of that on Zach Wilson being so bad, but yeah, and so they found a way to lose that. But shout out to Russell Wilson, 414 yards, 2 touchdowns. What's his name had a great game too. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's playing the best football on a losing team I've ever seen. I've never seen a guy play the way he's played and not win games. And it's just because the defense refuses to show up.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, it's like you can't pay T. Higgins. You got to get you an all-star defensive lineman and hope that helps y'all. T. Higgins ain't worth it. So because of the defensive issues that y'all have. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Oh, and Will Levis showed up again. Not he didn't turn the ball over, I don't think, but he was 50% on his passes and abysmal, and most of his numbers came in garbage time. So yeah, and he still only completed 50% of his passes. So will the real Will Levis please stand up? And he did in a great way. And also Jaden Daniels proved that he's still the rookie of the year, at least until tomorrow. We'll see what Bo Nix does to respond to that. But yeah, that's all I got for week 10. You wanted to cover anything else?
Nah.
All right, cool. Let's get to the real topic. BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. Drake it's not a lawsuit. It's like a fact-finding petition because he's trying to say that UMG
Universal Music Group
has pretty much paid for Kendrick to get streams to build Kendrick's name off of him, and it's affected him in a negative way. But everybody who follows hip hop, I don't follow hip hop like that. Actually, no. I'm sorry for the disclaimer. I don't follow hip hop. I'm not into hip hop news and things of that nature. But I am a Drake hater. Never thought he was a great rapper. Or not, I shouldn't say I never thought he was a great rapper. I just don't like his music. Can he rap? Yes. I don't like his music. And I always thought he was a weirdo. And he's comes out, he does this. Apparently, people who are in the hip hop media says that he did this. Apparently, Hotline Bling became a huge hit because of this situation that he's accusing UMG of. Yet, it was weird because people were saying like it's like I'm seeing a bunch of people, hip hop people, like real hip hop media people saying he's doing this, accusing them of doing this with Kendrick because he knows how the business works. But I'll say this, Not Like Us was a massive hit. I don't know if he apparently there was a rumor, he said, where people would ask Siri to play Certified Lover Boy. and they would play Not Like Us because it had certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And I was like, oh, is that what's happening? I tried it and it played the Drake album. So I don't know how real that is or if they have any evidence of that. But I do know this. When Not Like Us dropped, I heard it on YouTube. And to be honest, I didn't hear the whole verse or the whole song till months after. Because like that first verse was so lethal. I thought like I was like, I'm gonna get back to the rest of it and just never did. Cause like people be playing like the second part of it. And I'm like, was that in the song? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. You didn't listen to the whole thing once. But this is the softest move in hip hop history. I've never seen somebody lose in such a fashion. This dude, I've never been a fan of his. I don't like him. I always thought he was a weirdo just because of how he was with the athletes.
Yeah.
It was like he was that dude, like, they say like those dudes like when they make money and they start, and they start getting girls or whatever, and then it's like, oh, like, but you still like, and then women, that's why they never get married or they never can stay in a relationship because it's like, oh, like you're still a cornball or you still lame, like you still, like he was that guy for me. Like I don't know who you like. Everything seemed like an act, and he started in the business as an actor, so maybe he's always put on an act. Because he's never, I don't know who the real Drake is. He's never been this, like, it's always, and he just does his fanboy stuff. Even the comment that he made about DeMar DeRozan, probably the second or third greatest Toronto Raptor to ever play. And he's saying that DeMar DeRozan don't even have his jersey hanged up. So, or hung up, I'm sorry. I don't know how to speak English today. But like, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And then you do this because it's like he's so jealous of the popularity. He's like, there's no way he organically got this popular. It must have been this. And apparently, this is commonplace in the hip hop industry, but a hit, they'll put out music and pay for people to play music. But if it ain't a hit, it won't catch. All I know is this: my daughter does not listen to a lot of hip hop. I heard Not Like Us 7 times a day. I'm not joking. It's the first rap song I ever heard her sing. That wasn't like a female rap song like Ice Spice, or it was the first male rap song I've ever heard her sing. And I know Drake is terrified to hear certified pedophile and A minor amongst 100,000 people come Sunday night. That's why he's doing the concert in Australia around the same time. Because that right there is a gut and Nas move.
Yeah.
That right there is a that's a gut and Nas move. That's I ripped your lips off and kiss my ass with them shits. I ripped your tongue out. Oh man. And lick my nuts with them. That's that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear that. And the funny thing is, like, people was like, oh, the Super Bowl's not going to let him say it. which I don't know if they will or not. But I know if they don't let him say it, what's going to happen. Certified Lover Boy, and 100,000 people gonna say that.
Yep.
Wop, 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 wop. It's gonna be bad. I can't wait. I've always been a Drake hater. I cannot wait to hear that. This is the first time I'm excited for a Super Bowl halftime. First time in my whole life. I'm excited for a Super Bowl halftime. I can't wait. Zero. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind, your opinion, the nonsense.
Man, soft.
You know what? We haven't done this in a while. Man, soft.
Yo, because this is like, you really think it's bots? Yo, I remember I was getting my hair done at a barber shop. Not Like Us came on the radio. Then a different song came on, and Not Like Us came right back on. Like that was fucking crazy. Like my thing is, Drake, just take your L with humility and move forward. Because now you're looking for
Facts.
sympathy. You're looking for, like, I don't know. Well, I don't know what the hell you're looking for at this point. Just take your L. Like you took it. Well, it's different with the Pusha T situation because Pusha T, he brought up his son and how he's hiding his son from the world, but he never went down the you like he's like you got an interest in teenage girls type of thing. Like, so, and Kendrick warned him. He said in Euphoria, he was like, um when he said, don't tell no lies about me, I won't tell no truths about you. When he said this is a friendly sparring session, so don't take it, basically don't take it too far. And it's like he warned you, like,
They
yo,
know it's family matters after that, right?
uh
That was when Drake was accusing him of beating his wife and stuff.
yes. So it was like you were forewarned and you decided that you wanted to take it that far. So now, so that even in this beef, it was like folks are trying to be investigative reporters when he said he might have a daughter, and then everyone's like, "Yo, there's," like, folks went from folks folks really looking into it to see, is this really true? But that's neither here nor there. The fact that you're accusing somebody of something that you're also accused of is crazy.
Wait, Drake's accused of beating women?
No, 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 no. I mean the petition.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Nah, I should have. I digress. So, yeah, like, take the L. That's all. That's how I feel about it at this point. Take the L, because when push comes to shove, what do you expect at this point? What are you looking for at this point? It's like, imagine if imagine if Meek Mill tried to file a lawsuit against you for the back-to-back diss that ended
Mm-hmm.
up getting a Grammy nomination. It's like people were playing back to back like crazy. But you didn't hear what's his name say, "Oh I'm gonna get legal counsel involved." No, he took his L and he moved forward. It's like you you lost to Pusha T. You wanted sympathy. You went on LeBron. You went on the shop. You went on the shop, and you were sitting here asking if LeBron was is like if what was it, if LeBron was disappointed in him or some shit.
That dude, I'm telling you, man, that dude's a weirdo, man. Dude, he needs therapy or something, man. Like,
Yeah,
because why do you care?
it doesn't make any sort of sense. Why is it that you needed something from that you needed approval from LeBron? Like, what are we doing here? It's like is Kendrick. Kendrick is hot right now. Kendrick did his thing, and Kendrick did his thing, and now it bothers you. Basically, now it bothers you the fact that you got to keep on hearing certified lover boy, certified pedophile. You got to keep on hearing the third verse where all it does is prove that you're a culture vulture. How
Bruh.
yes, it's like all that's all it does. That's all you're hearing. That's all you're getting, and that's the crazy thing. Just take your L, sit your ass down, get back in the booth, make some music. Yeah, make some new music and just move forward in your career until it's time for you to hang it up. It's like this lawsuit shit. It's like this is just a light skin. Now they're gonna say, yo, this is what light skin niggas do.
Yeah. This is bad, man. I mean, I don't understand why this dude one seeks validation so much from so many people. And then why would the label who gave you the largest contract in hip hop history conspire against you for your downfall? Like, I think they gave him a $400 million contract. That means they're probably making $4 billion off of you. Are you
Yeah.
stupid? Like, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't even make sense. And then the lawyers are like, if I'm a lawyer, I'm like, bro, get out of my office, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're still selling out shows. Nobody cares. You're that big of a star. Be a star. No, you took that L. But the problem is, you did back to back against another star, and there aren't very many hip hop superstars right now. It's really Drake and Kendrick right now
Yeah.
that can just go anywhere and sell out the show right now. I'm not even sure after J. Cole did what he did with this battle. I'm not even sure if he can do that. I'm sure actually, he has very loyal fans, so maybe. Again, I'm not a hip hop head, so I don't. Let me just shut up. But when it comes down to it, it's like, bruh, why would they pray for your downfall after investing so much money? This makes absolutely no sense. Makes no logic. I'd be like, yo, like Drake is a cry in the car ass nigga. I can't stand that dude, man. Like somebody need a like he reminds me of. He reminds me of like when Donald Trump lost the election. Like you remember the first time it was like the first time he didn't care about the votes because Hillary beat him in the votes, in the total votes, popular vote, but he didn't care because he won the election.
Yeah.
Then when he got beat in the election and the popular votes, he's like, oh, this whole thing is rigged, and he kept going with if I lose, this is rigged. If I lose, this is rigged. Both first two elections he ran for. This one, he wasn't going with that narrative, but he was still saying that he lost because it wasn't counted properly or whatever.
Mm.
But then he wins, and he wins, by a pretty decent margin. For some reason, it's the most legitimate election of all time. Because now he won the popular vote and the election. There's no concerns of whether. So I'm like, yeah, and to be honest, I even mentioned that I was like, I don't think Trump wanted to win because he wasn't going with the if he loses, he rigged. It's rigged. I was like, I think he thought that he was just going to be able to bow out, and whatever. But yeah, I don't like that's what that reminds me of. Like, oh, the only way I could have lost and he could have made this big hit is because of bots and payola. Nah, bro. Like it was a great song. And then your response to it fell flat. That's why it's still a huge hit. Because your response was you going from attack mode to flipping your card on its side and going into defense mode. You turned into the giant soldier of stone. And shout to Yu-Gi-Oh! And you took that L. And he was like, all you said the whole time was, you're lying about me. You're lying about me. And when you lied about Kendrick, the only thing he did was go into the studio and said, mustard on a beat, ho. So let's last topic real quick, then we'll end on this. Now YouTube kept shutting me down the last few years I've done it. So I'm not gonna do it this year. Normally I'll start a December episode with a Christmas song. But we're not gonna do it this year. Because again, YouTube keeps shutting my videos down. And TikTok keeps shutting my videos down. Everywhere shuts my videos down because it's not copyrighted. Even though I've put this is not copyright, I don't own rights to this music disclaimer, they still shut it down. So I don't know how to get around that right now. Anybody who may listen to this, let me know, because I really want to play the greatest Christmas songs of all time on the podcast. But I came with a list. Zero came with a list. Top 5 podcast. Top 5 Christmas songs of all time. I'm gonna go first.
Mm-hmm.
I have an honorable mention, and these are the specific people, because there's multiple versions of every song. These are the specific people, the specific versions of the song that I like. Honorable mention: Winter Wonderland by Pentatonix and Tori Kelly. Mainly because of Tori Kelly, because I love her.
Mm.
But she's one of the 3 white women I'll say that about. But yeah, I love her. So Winter Wonderland is my honorable mention. And number 5, I have the Christmas song by Nat King Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I have, well, I mean, she's the only one who sings it, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, either Frank Sinatra or Luther Vandross. Mm. I prefer the Luther version, but I'll bang the Frank Sinatra version too. I'll play them back to back. I don't mind. Number 2, Let It Snow, the Boyz II Men version. Number 1, Y'all already know because if you listen to if you go back and listen to a December episode of the podcast, I played it every year. When you hear that in my mind from the Temptations, Silent Night from the Temptations. When that ooh in my mind. when you hear that church come out, my man, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me, man. Don't you ever disrespect Silent Night from the Temptations. But that's my top 5 greatest Christmas songs of all time and the honorable mention. Zero. What you got?
All right. So I got number 5, Feliz Navidad.
Okay. I don't like that song, but I'm with you. That's a bop to a lot of people.
Number 4, I got White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby, hey.
Bing.
Well, man, Bing, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't think about that one. I don't think it would have made mine, but that's a good one. That's a good one too. I actually like that song. That's a good
one. I got Jingle Bell Rock.
Okay.
I got number 2 is Mariah. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah.
And number 1, personally for me, it's Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Oh, interesting top 5.
Oh, now my honorable mention. I have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
So 1 is Eartha Kitt, Santa Baby.
Okay, that's a good one.
And what's it called? And Let It Snow. Those are my honorable mentions.
You know what? I just thought about this song.
What?
I want to change out my number 4.
Okay.
Because All I Want for Christmas, I do bang that. But it's still Mariah Carey. Oh Holy Night, I play far more than All I Want for Christmas Is You. So Oh Holy Night, and I guess All I Want for Christmas would be my second honorable mention. So, all right, so rapid fire. We're gonna do it again. Then we got to end because apparently my iPad's dying fast this episode because it was on 70%. And we usually this is about the time where we would finish, and now it's on 5%. So top 5. Christmas song, Nat King Cole. 4, Oh Holy Night, Mariah Carey. 3, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Either version, Luther Vandross or Frank Sinatra. My preference is the Luther Vandross version. Let It Snow by Boyz II Men, number 2. Silent Night by The Temptations. One of you.
So I got number 5, Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. Number 4 was White Christmas, Bing Crosby. Number 3, Jingle Bell Rock, Bobby Helms. Number 2, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And number 1 was Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
All right, bet. All right, I'm going to go with the partner shot first because it's going to be very quick. My partner shot, Drake, man up. Stop being soft out here. You mad soft. That's my partner shot.
My partner shot is Matt Eberflus. You still preparing for San Francisco?
Dang. It must be packed. I wonder if you fly in first class. He got the money for it.
No, that nigga flying in a luggage rack.
They should, because after what you told me about Jackson, he definitely got packed up.
I know, right? He's like,
he 15
ain't got a
minutes.
word in. You stood there like a child while your parents scolded your ass.
Yo, 15 minutes. Ain't he like a second, third year player? Oh, snap.
Yeah, he looked at him. He went to his press conference and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you, you bitch made fool ass punk."
Bitch made fool ass punk. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Them curse words were unlimited.
Unlimited. Hey, them yards today was unlimited.
Limited.